What if you were told that an unseen enemy had invaded Pakistan, causing havoc and disruption on an unprecedented scale? An invader that doesn't march with an army, doesn't roar with tanks, but slips in silently, unseen, and yet not unfelt. This enemy is a pandemic, a global health crisis that has gripped the world, including Pakistan, in its virulent grasp. Imagine a time when life was normal, bustling streets, open markets, lively festivals, and then, suddenly, everything changed. An invisible enemy started to spread, and with it, fear and uncertainty. Hospitals began to fill with patients, their lives hanging in the balance, while doctors and nurses fought tirelessly, armed not with weapons but with knowledge, skill, and an unwavering commitment to their oath. As the pandemic's grip tightened, the government sprang into action. Swift measures were taken to curtail the spread of the virus, lockdowns were imposed, public gatherings banned, and masks became the new norm. It was a time of strict regulations, a time when staying apart meant staying together, a time when the health of the nation became the primary concern. The public reaction, however, was a mix of fear, confusion, and resilience. Some people panicked, hoarding supplies as if preparing for a long siege. Others denied the reality of the pandemic, refusing to change their ways, but many more recognized the gravity of the situation. They adjusted to the new normal, followed health guidelines, and found ways to support each other in these trying times. In the midst of all this, the health sector showed commendable resilience. Despite being stretched thin, it held the line, providing care to those in need, and constantly adapting to the ever-evolving situation. It was a daunting task, but the health sector rose to the occasion, proving that Pakistan could stand strong in the face of adversity. And so began Pakistan's battle with this unseen enemy, a battle that would test the resilience of the nation, a battle against an enemy that doesn't respect borders or discriminate between nations. But it's not just a battle for survival, it's a test of our unity, our resilience, and our ability to adapt and overcome. The war was not easy, and at its peak, the pandemic seemed to be an invincible foe. It was a time of grim statistics, with cases of the disease escalating at an alarming rate. The invisible enemy was everywhere, lurking in every corner, every breath. It was a relentless tide, threatening to overwhelm everything in its wake. Hospitals, our fortresses in this war, were under siege. Their walls echoed with the ceaseless beep of monitors, the hurried steps of overworked healthcare professionals, the whispered prayers of anxious families. Beds were occupied, ventilators were scarce, and the strain on the system was palpable. It was a test of endurance, a marathon that seemed to have no finish line. The pandemic was not just a health crisis, it was an economic storm, uprooting businesses, disrupting livelihoods, and shattering dreams. Every sector felt the shockwave, from the bustling markets silenced by lockdowns to the deserted factories stripped of their workforce. The vibrant tapestry of our economy seemed to be unraveling thread by thread. But in the face of this crisis, the true spirit of humanity emerged. The government, organizations, and individuals rallied together, fighting back with every resource at their disposal. Policies were implemented, aid was distributed, and measures were taken to alleviate the economic impact. Each decision, each action was a step forward, a beacon of hope in the darkness. In the front lines, our healthcare professionals worked tirelessly, armed with courage, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to their oath. They were our soldiers, our heroes, standing tall against the onslaught. Their dedication was a testament to the power of human spirit, a beacon of light in the darkest hours. And so we persevered. We weathered the storm, braved the waves, and navigated through the uncertainty. We learned, adapted, and grew stronger. We discovered the power of unity, the importance of empathy, the value of resilience. We realized that even in the face of adversity, we could rise, we could overcome. While the peak was a challenging time, it was also a turning point, a moment of collective realization and action. How does a nation adapt when faced with such a disruptive force? This isn't just a rhetorical question, but a reality that we've all had to grapple with. As the dust begins to settle, we see the emergence of a new normal that has reshaped our everyday lives in ways we could never imagine. Our lifestyles have undergone a significant transformation. Our homes have become multifunctional spaces, serving as offices, schools, gyms, and more. The hustle and bustle of crowded markets have been replaced with the hum of delivery vehicles. The weekend outings have made way for family game nights and virtual hangouts. The shift to remote work and online education is another significant change. As offices and schools closed their doors, our living rooms and kitchens became our new classrooms and workspaces. Video conferencing became the new norm, and we quickly learned to mute and unmute ourselves, turn our cameras on and off, and share screens. Meanwhile, masks and sanitizers became essential accessories. They are no longer just protective measures, but symbols of our collective responsibility towards each other. We've learned to express our emotions through our eyes, with smiles hidden behind masks. But adapting to this new normal hasn't come without its challenges. One of the most significant impacts has been on our mental health. The isolation, the fear, the uncertainty, they've all taken a toll. It's been a time of introspection and self-discovery, of learning to be resilient and finding joy in the simple things. In this adapted world, we've learned to be patient, to be understanding, and to be supportive. We've realized that while we may be physically apart, we are together in spirit. We've discovered new ways to connect, to work, to learn, and to grow. Adapting to this new normal was not easy, but it was a necessary step in the face of the ongoing crisis. And as we continue to navigate this uncharted territory, we are reminded of our strength, our resilience, and our ability to adapt and thrive. With every storm there comes a calm. With every night there comes a dawn. In the throes of our darkest hour, the glimmer of hope emerged. The advent of vaccines brought the much-needed light at the end of the tunnel. Scientists worldwide worked tirelessly, and their dedication bore fruit. Vaccines were introduced, a testament to human resilience and ingenuity. As the vaccination campaigns gained momentum, the grip of the pandemic began to loosen. Each jab given was not just an injection, it was a shot of hope, a step towards reclaiming the life we once knew. The decrease in cases was not merely a statistic, it was a sigh of relief, a sign that we were making headway in this formidable fight. Gradually, the world started waking up from the nightmare. Streets began to buzz with activity, schools welcomed back the laughter and chatter of children, and the air of normalcy began to seep in. Families and friends reunited, faces lit up with smiles that had been hidden behind masks for too long. The vibrant spirit of Pakistan was rekindled, and the nation started to heal. But as we navigate our way back to normalcy, we carry with us the lessons learned from this crisis. We have understood the value of health, the importance of self-care, and the power of community. We have realized that adaptability is not a choice, but a necessity, and preparedness is not a luxury, but a duty. This ordeal has shown us that we are stronger than we think, that we can weather the worst of storms if we stand together. It has taught us that in the face of adversity, we can adapt, innovate, and overcome. As we emerge from the shadow of this pandemic, we carry these lessons in our hearts. We stand ready to face the future, not with fear, but with wisdom and resilience. As Pakistan emerges from the shadow of this pandemic, the nation stands stronger, wiser, and better prepared for the challenges of the future.